Hey there, welcome to Everyday Moodlings. This is Jury Parks and I'm back with a brand new challenge for this week. This week our challenge is to use a favorite movie or TV quote on your project, whether it be a card or a tag or a scrapbook page or in my case an ATC. You've heard me talk about in the past my project inspiration wall. If you don't know what that is, you can check out the link to the blog, the Everyday Moodlings blog, and learn more about my project inspiration wall and learn why I do ATCs, which are called artist trading cards. So my quote is one from one of my all-time favorite shows called Cheers. Great, wonderful sitcom from the 80s, and this quote is from one of the patrons to the bar. His name was Norm. Norm had lots and lots and lots of funny quotes, but my favorite is, "It's a dog-eat-dog world and I'm wearing milk-bone underwear." I often say this to my son. It's just a funny way of looking at life. It really is just a really funny quote. I think they asked Norm when he comes in, you know, how is life? And this is his answer. "It's a dog-eat-dog world and I'm wearing milk-bone underwear." So that's my quote, and it is going to be most prominent on my ATC. I really wanted it to be in the forefront, but I am using a set of doggy stamps. Not sure yet which one of my dogs I'm going to use. I'm leaning towards this cute little lab here. This is by a old company called CDs. They were then bought out by somebody else and then bought out by somebody else. I don't know that they are even in existence anymore, but I love that little dog. So we're going to start out with some corrugated paper, and I want to create like a space for my dog. So I'm going to add some modeling paste to it. I could use white paint, but I don't feel like that's going to really set in these grooves very well. And I want to create kind of a solid surface for my dog stamp. And actually, I think I'm going to offset him a little bit, even though rather than having him right in the center. Though I did kind of start by assuming he was going to be in the center, we're going to put him off to the side a little bit. So there, now we got a good place to stamp my little doggy stamp on. Let's smooth this out just a little bit more. Now we have to do that really dreaded thing. Wait until it's completely dry before I stamp and do a little coloring on there. So I'll be back when it's dry to take the next step. Okay, so our modeling paste is all dry now. It's still a little bumpy, and I left it bumpy. I could have sanded it down to have a nice surface, but I decided that I kind of liked it as is. So I went ahead and stamped my puppy dog image as well as kind of inked around the edges. So next up we're going to do just a little coloring, and I am using pan pastels to go ahead and color my image. Modeling paste works really good with pan pastels. So my little ATC is all done. This was a pretty simple one, but I love how the image comes together on the modeling paste. It kind of reminds me of Silly Putty. I don't know if you had that as a kid, but you could lay it down on a magazine or a newspaper and pull it away, and it would take the ink from the newspaper and make almost like a stamped image. And that's what this reminds me of. Like, there's a piece of Silly Putty there that I've transferred the image to. So I decided to keep it pretty simple today or this week, and you'll notice I used both pressure adhesive and liquid. I knew the pressure adhesive would keep it in place, and the liquid would secure it permanently. Now, it did warp my paper a little bit, my modeling paste, but once it's in my ATC display, it'll be just fine. If you have any questions about anything I did here or anything I used, please be sure to let me know. I'm always happy to help. And until next week, I'm your host with Everyday Moodlings, Jeree Parks.